Every cat owner has had the pleasure of this encounter. You come home after a long day, pat your cat who looks suspiciously smug, take off your shoes and promptly step on something smushy. We swear your cat isn't trying to ruin your life, or ruin another pair of socks if you were lucky enough to be wearing some when an incident like this occurred. There are several reasons why your cat doesn't want to go in the litter box. From the box's size to deeper psychological issues, we're going to be answering all your questions. Hey guys, welcome to Furry Feline Facts, a perfect catalog of cat stats. In today's video, we're going to bring you some answers to the big question on what about the litter box. If you're not already a follower of Furry Feline Facts, meow is the time to click the subscribe and notification bell. If you are, give yourself a round of applause. Okay, enough kidding around. It's meow or never. Humans seem to forget the fact that a cat's sense of smell is 14 times stronger than our own. While we only have 5 million odor sensors in our noses, they have more than 200 million. Combine that with cats' signature majesty dignity and OCD-level sense of cleanliness, and your cat may have cat litter problems. Litter box issues are practically rampant among cats, and they could range in nature from cleanliness to something more dire. This is certainly a challenging topic. We at Furry Feline Facts received many questions about litter box issues. We cannot guarantee a magic formula or a ready receipt which will definitely solve your problems because each cat is unique and each family has its peculiarities. But you can rest assured that we will bring you some tips and tricks on how to think outside the box and minimize your problems. Number 1. Basic instinct. Probably your kitten will know how to eliminate its poops and pees. It doesn't mean that all kittens come pre-programmed from the factory to know where and how all poops and pees belong. Most kittens learn from their mothers the basics of the litter box lessons at around 1 month of age. It is an imitation process. Chances are that unless you've rescued an orphan kitten that still was bottle feeding, you won't have to teach your new cat how to use the litter box. Cats instinctively bury their feces and cover their pee. This classic feline behavior dates back thousands of years, and wild cats had this behavior for survival reasons. They needed to avoid detection by other predators. Maybe your cat chose your backyard or the sandbox from the kids' playground. This is a pure survival instinct. Number 2. What about the litter box size? The first and most common problem lies in the size of the litter box. If your feline friend finds her or himself feeling trapped, cramped, and unable to maneuver with ease, the litter box will invoke negative feelings. So, by association, they will stop wanting to use it and start finding the great outdoors, which can sometimes refer to your bed a lot more appealing. Finding the proper size depends on your cat. Larger is always better. Even pet supply stores tend to sell litter boxes that are too small for most cats. The box should be 1.5 times the length of your cat so that it has enough room to move around and not step in soiled litter. Measure it this way. There should be enough room to step inside, maneuver, turn around, scratch, and squat comfortably without having to touch the sides of the box. If the box is too small, your cat, especially if it's an older cat or suffers from arthritis, it may accidentally miss it and aim over the side. The height of the box can play a part of the problem if you have an elderly cat or a kitten that is unable to get in. Number 3. What about the location? It's all about location, location, location. Cats notoriously and adorably act with a certain decorum that demands respect. And with that comes a sense of wanting privacy when doing their private business. They can't very well do that when their litter box is in a heavy traffic area in your home, now can they? If the box is in a noisy or an area that's overly exposed, your cat may be too shy to comfortably handle its business. Finding a quiet location for their box is a must. Many owners make the mistake of making a designated cat den or area where their drink and food bowls and their litter box are all located. Same as every human, cats don't want to eat while surrounded by their bathroom. Food and water bowls should be nowhere near the litter box. And then, as they age, cats' litter boxes may need to have their location changed as well. Problems like joint pains and arthritis may keep them from reaching the upper or lower levels of a home. The location should have a clear, safe, and easy path. This is actually also useful for owners since they don't have to traverse up every time they need to clean the litter. That means basements, laundry rooms, or anywhere near the furnace are out of the question. Having a multi-cat household means that you have double or triple the love and affection a cat provides. But it also means that you have to be cautious of where these multiple cats do their business. For one thing, boxes shouldn't be placed in locations with one exit, such as closets. This dead-end location makes a cat feel trapped. And if you add a cat sibling to the mix, that dead end becomes a prime spot to be ambushed. In time, the cat will avoid using the box. Number 4. What about cleanness? How often should I clean the litter box is one of the most common questions asked. Look at it this way. Cats are very clean. It's their nature. So, in turn, they expect their boxes to be as immaculate as they are. It's their nature that allows them to instinctively notice and disregard a dirty litter box, which naturally spells disaster. Your cat isn't trying to ruin your life by using your entire home and the most inappropriate places as a makeshift litter box. It's trying to send you a message. Would you want to walk around in your own waste? You shouldn't expect your kitty to do the same. If it's not in a pristine condition, well, then they'll take their business elsewhere. At least once a day is the answer to how often you should scoop the box. Twice a month is the average rate to how often you should disinfect the box and replace or replenish it with fresh litter. The actual box will need to be replaced eventually, about once every year. Number 5. What about sharing? Cats may look like adorable, sometimes mischievous siblings when you have several in your home, but when it comes to making them share the bathroom like human siblings, that's a bad idea. Kitties are territorial and incredibly private. If they feel like their litter isn't available, or if they're thrown off by the other cat, they may stop using it. A general rule of thumb, you have to have one litter box per cat and an extra, all placed in different locations, of course. What about type? Instead of using the pet supply store or the commercial litter boxes, a large plastic storage bin will do perfectly. We recommend using clear or transparent bins, especially if you own several feline friends. Vulnerability is a big issue when it comes to doing their business. Cats need to see what's going on around them and feel safe that they can go without being ambushed. And the most important type you need to use? Not hooded. Hooded litter boxes may be comfortable for humans, scent-wise, but since they keep the odors inside, even if it's still scooped every day, your cat will get irritated. Number 7. What about the litter? Finally, we have another popularly asked question. What kind of litter should be used? You'll find that most cats dramatically prefer clumping scoopable litter over clay litter. Each scoopable litter will differ in texture, but that's something that you'll need to experiment with a little to find out which texture your cat prefers. Frequently changing litter may be a bad idea because this sudden change can be disruptive to your cat's routine. Clay litter is only advised for tiny, hyper, and doesn't know any better kittens because they may accidentally ingest the scoopable litter that's finer in texture. Number 8. What about medical issues? Maybe you have faithfully followed every rule and tip and trick, but your cat just isn't using the box. It's time to look into other reasons. It may be nothing wrong with you, the box, or the environment, but rather your cat itself. Medical problems such as bladder stones, bladder inflammation, diabetes, and a partial urethra blockage can cause poor cat to stop using the litter box. Consult with a vet if you have any suspicions, especially if you notice any other symptoms. Before we wrap up the video, here's a leg up and some tips and tricks when it comes to litter boxes. Again, as a general rule of thumb, you should scoop the litter box at least once a day, twice if possible. Clumping litter is the ideal type of litter, as we mentioned earlier. And again, kittens younger than 6 or 7 weeks old may have some problems with it. Unscented litter is the way to go, always. The litter should always be deep enough. Make sure to use a litter that your cat finds comfortable to walk on. Alright, now how about some don'ts? Don't use litters that are advertised as not clumping, except for young kittens, 6 or 7 weeks old. Don't use newspaper, pine, or overall palleted litters. Crystal and white pearl litter are also ill-advised. Don't use a litter with a scent or any deodorizers. Don't use these plastic or grassy mats. And finally, and most importantly, don't and never punish your cat for failing to use its litter box. Well, there you have it, some answers on what about the litter box. I hope you've learned a lot in this episode. Is your cat having trouble using its litter box? What's the wildest place she used instead of her designated spot? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Furry Feline Facts, a perfect catalog of cat stats. And hit that notification bell to be sure you don't miss any of our pawsome content. See you next time.